that you can see my stitching, I am going to use a yellow yarn today. So first, this is the thumb piece. It is adjusted to the length of my thumb. That's why it looks a little shorter than the pattern. I will fold it and put a pin or two to hold it in place. And I will start actually in the corner, top corner, and sew down. It is best if you have choices of needles to use a needle that maybe has a blunter tip so it does not cut into the yarn but rather goes between the yarn. So we've made our first knot and I'm going to be doing blanket stitching. You can start by doing basting stitch until it's all together just to be sure that it fits well, and then go back and do blanket stitching. I am stitching about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, and there we go. So I can even take out my pin, where my other pin is, and I can try it on. So this will be on the right hand when it's turned inside out, right side out, but now that it's inside out, it's on the left hand. I still have a little room on the thumb, but it'll be nice once I get it all sewn in, see? And I can even put this piece on to see what the next step is. This will be the next step. So now I can take this edge and this edge and pin it because one, of course, is curved in and one is curved out, but we want them to match. And we want to put this corner right here, this corner right there, right where we stitched. And maybe put a pin to hold it so we know how much we have to go around there. So I still have my string, my yarn. I'm going to now grab through the corner and let's see, let me get some sunlight. And I am going to Just grab it through once, make like a little extra stitch there for strength, and even maybe to the other side. And then I shall begin blanket stitching my way around about a 1/4 inch of ease. Let me move my chair a little into the sun better. And it is important to put the pins because, like I was saying, we are putting a concave curved piece onto a convex curved piece, and sometimes one wants to stretch a little bit more than the other, and by pinning the ends and somewhere in the middle, we know how much to ease the two pieces together. Here we are. Oops. We've come to the very end. And I will do a little 2 or 3 stitches. And a knot. And a knot of your choosing. I sometimes like to make a loop and then just tie it off into a knot. However your grandmother taught you to do it. Okay, and there we go. Put my needle over here. And snip. Okay, so here we have, if I turn it inside, right side out. Okay, as you can see there, it is already taking shape. Okay, so in order to keep this going along, I can turn it back inside out. See, and then I can put it on this hand so you can see the stitching. And the next step is we will put the little, oh goodness, did it fall? Let me see. It has fallen. Okay. We shall put the little gore now onto the, not the thumb side, but the other side. And I like to put the diagonal, and remember, let's see, actually, here we go. So fuzzy to, the inside will be fuzzy, so make sure we put the good sides together and the bad sides or insides out. Okay, so that's the second step, or the third piece. So now we have the gore and the mitten, the thumb piece, and the palm piece. So now again, fuzzy, fuzzy, fuzzy to fuzzy, or fuzzy out, because we want the fuzzy in. As you can see, that straight piece of the thumb is now lined up. So now, and remember, this is important, the outside upper piece, top piece, is wider than the bottom piece. It is wider. So you will have to ease the pieces together. So what I actually like to do, even though I just pinned them like that, is kind of pin the two corners together up here. See how there's difference? See the difference in the size? See the difference? And then we will just start at the gore. And the gore is a bit stretchy. So you will have to, this is the diagonal side, so you will have to again carefully ease it into this piece, which is on the cut on the grain, so it's not stretchy at all. Okay, so we're going to stitch all the way around and pull this nice and tight all the way around, and then all the way here, the same way we've just been stitching. I will do one stitch on one side and one more stitch grabbing the gore a little bit, and now both sides, and I will put extra stitch there because if you have your relative who will wear this who has thick wrist, maybe they put a little bit pressure on this, so extra stitch is always good at the working seams. Okay, now I'm going to check. reached my pin here, and I have two pins, I will move my pin over to the middle to make sure I have evenly distributed my fabric between the two. So, and I will hold these together and evenly distribute these two and continue. Okay, very good. Put away my needle. And so, here is the mitten. And so, we turn it inside out.